What are you doing here, Drifter?
Oi, you gonna buy us the next round?
Oh, no, not really. I'm actually looking for men. Men like you, as a matter of fact. What's a guy like you need men like us for? Well, I'm sure you've heard of me before. I'm the legendary bounty hunter and the founder of the outpost New Raleigh, south of Squin. The name's Rook. Doesn't ring a bell.
Never heard of you.
Really? I'm Rook. I've traversed the mist and the foglands and survived the fogmen. I snuck into the cannibal capital, captured and collected the bounty on the cannibal Grand Wizard. I fought a great white gorilla that was trapped in the city of Morn in solo combat and defeated it without a scratch. I've come face to face with the Bugmaster and survived my encounter. I've traveled through the Ashlands and survived. I've freed slaves and traveled most of the world. Maybe you recognize me now? Nope, not even remotely.
That all sounds made up.
We don't really care. Right. Well, like I said before, I'm looking for men to join me. I have a base where I can offer food, protection, and a community. All are welcome, even the weak. We can equip you with the finest weapons and armor and train you to become stronger. But really, I need men because I'm building an army. And with that army, I'm gonna destroy the Holy Nation. I'm actually pretty busy.
Yeah, I'm really booked up right now.
Well, Hey guys, this is Eric with Pixel Rookie, and this is the first episode of my Kenshi narrative series telling the story of Rook, the wanderer who starts with almost nothing and works his way to make a name for himself. Or at least he tries to. Like any good story, we're going to start at the beginning on day 1 and see what events unfold that eventually bring Rook to the Waystation on that fateful recruitment day. And here's Rook, your basic wanderer. All he has are some rags for pants, a small pipe to defend himself, and 1,000 cats. Rook found himself at the hub. He was planning on meeting a friend who arrived a couple of weeks before him, and they were going to work together to make a name for themselves. He took in the sights of the hub briefly and realized that his friend was nowhere to be found. The city was mostly run down. He decided he would need to make some money, and he wanted to do it the honest way. By mining away at a copper deposit, of course. He made his way out of the hub and began toiling away at the mineral deposit. It was slow, grueling work, but copper sold for a good price. Rook was a smart man though, and he knew that he had to be alert in case bandits were nearby. Only a fool would be looking over their map and not paying attention while mining. Through the valley, a group of starving bandits approached him. Rook knew he had to leave now. He tried to ignore them, but they decided to chase him down. He ran, but they were closing in on him. He decided to drop his copper into a pile and leave it. It was slowing him down too much and they were going to catch him otherwise. That's much better. Rook was able to outrun these violent thugs now. They followed him as he entered the gate into the hub. This was a big mistake on their part. Rook knew the bar would have bodyguards and he could lure the bandits in there to fight them. He rounded the corner and ran inside. In no time, the ninja guards attacked the bandits. The bar was filled with chaos. Rook tried to keep back though. He's weak and he knows it. One wrong move is all it takes and he could be knocked out cold, and who knows what would happen then. The last bandit was taken out and Rook was barely wounded. It was time to start looting the men and sell their belongings for a few extra cats. He filled his inventory with their rags and poles. But the hungry bandit leader was fancy. He had shoes for Rook to, borrow. Indefinitely. And a horse chopper for him to equip. Rook was already in a good position with his gear. Now it's time to sell the junk. Well, where's the barman at? Oh, there he is. Knocked out on the ground in a recovery coma. Great. He can't help wake him up, but he can take that nice leather shirt he has for himself. The good old shirt switcheroo. Hopefully nobody notices. Now Rook just had to wait for him to get up so he could sell some stuff. The barman's back up and recovered, so it's time to earn some cats. He'll sell all this junk, and he'll get some bandages and food. Now he can patch himself up. Back to looting everything. Steal this and that. Sell it. Steal some more. Sell that. So much for, the honest way. Ooh, and what's this? Someone's trying to escape. What better way to train his new weapon? The poor bandit tried to crawl away, but Rook kept beating on him until he was knocked back out. Enough of this though, it was time to get back his copper that he left outside of the hub while fleeing from the bandits. And we're back to mining. Looking over Rook's skills, he's still really lacking in almost every area. Starting off in Kenshi, it's good to labor like this and slowly build up some skills and sell the copper for extra money. As they say, slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady.
Later that morning, Rook mined enough to completely fill his inventory with copper. Time to earn some money. Outside of the bar, Rook saw what was left of the bandits that attacked him on the first day. It was like a little bone dog buffet. Rook spoke to the barman and sold him the copper. And he's back to mining again. After mining the entire night, Rook had another full inventory of copper. Though instead of selling this load, he was going to sneak around and haul it to build up his strength. He decided this would be a good opportunity to visit the city south of the hub, Squin. Sneaking around while being overburdened is a slow process, but it'll make him faster and stronger in the long run. That night, he arrived at Squin and there must have been a rotation at the front gate because it was unguarded. Rook snuck into the city and used this opportunity to break into one of the nearby towers. He picked the lock and crept inside. Echoes of his footsteps reverberated all around him. He held his breath as he listened for other signs of life. It was empty. He found some chests and a safe upstairs and decided to loot them. The first chest creaked and groaned as he lifted the lid. It had some different maps of the continent. This would be really helpful. He transferred some of the copper into the chest and took the maps. He copied the locations onto his map. He checked out the next chest and found some more maps. More importantly, he found a nice backpack for extra inventory space. This allowed him to grab a sleeping bag, a random blueprint, and some other maps. He rummaged through other areas while the townsfolk were in bed and found some new armor to equip. The life of pillaging was starting to become more and more profitable for him. He checked and updated his map as he was leaving Squin. For now, it was time to go back to the hub. Rook was much better equipped at this point with all the new gear he acquired. His morale was really high. He finally crept his way back to the hub and made his way into the bar again. He had lots to sell this time. His stash of cats was growing, but he needed more money. Which means more mining. After mining for another day, he filled his inventory and decided to travel some more to build his stealth and strength skills. Rook was going to travel north of the hub this time and see what he could find. Well, that ended quickly enough. Another group of starving bandits saw him on the path and quickly approached. Rook knew he had to make a run for it. He thought it was best to drop the copper weighing him down, and he made his way into the small bar nearby. He ignored their heckles as he ran past them and went straight into the bar. Even with the new equipment, he was really unskilled and could easily be taken down. There are guards posted here too. Good. The bandits flowed through the doorway and he knew they were about to start trouble. The fighting broke out right then. Rook blitzed past the men and ran outside. Most of the other bandits were fighting the ninja guards inside. This let Rook fight a bandit one-on-one. He was still very inexperienced with melee combat and took a few hits. Fortunately, his new armor helped protect him. He was getting pummeled though. He groaned as more and more bruises dented his armor and weakened him with every hit. One of the ninja guards was outside cleaning up the other bandits and easily took out Rook's opponent. Rook ran back inside to help. The guards finished the rest of them off. He was really helpful. The brawl was over and Rook healed himself up. He grabbed his copper, sold all of it to the shopkeeper, then bailed out of there. As he was leaving, he noticed something. The wounded bandits were taken outside of the bar and left for dead. A group of slavers were nearby though, and they were taking them in. Rook couldn't help but to pity those men. Slavers made his blood boil. He considered stepping in, but he decided not to. He was too weak, and the best he could do is probably get enslaved with them. He scowled and he knew their time would come soon enough. At least the bandits won't die today. That night, he decided to test out his new sleeping bag and rest up to heal his wounds. He laid it out and got everything set up. It was time to sleep. The next morning, he ventured back into the hub again and he noticed a small, unoccupied shack. He snuck inside and found a chest and 2 beds. He picked the lock on the chest and frowned as he opened the lid. He didn't find much in it, but this could work as a small base of operations in the meantime. The next logical step was, of course, to mine even more copper. After mining for another full day, Rook returned to the bar in the hub to sell what he collected. He also sold some of his excess medical supplies. This got him exactly to the amount of cats he was trying to earn, 10,000. He He heard about the Shinobi Thieves Guild in the corner of the city and he wanted to join them so he could train and become stronger. The cost to join though? 10,000 cats. He approached the thief boss and told him he'd like to join. After a quick conversation, he became a member. This was the first major achievement for Rook to become more powerful and start his real journey in Kenshi. What will Rook do next? Stay tuned for the next episode to find out. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I wanted to make a special announcement. I now have Patreon and YouTube memberships available if you want to support the channel so I can make more content like this more regularly. I also want to give a huge thanks and a shout out to the first 2 Patreon members, Locker and Yellow Horse. I'm extremely grateful for your support. Thanks guys. As always, thanks for watching and until next time, have a good one.